Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. My name is Sunny. Amsterdam-Connect. I'm with Kingsway. What's good?
Hi guys, how you guys doing today? I'm Kingsway and I'm here with
Sunny. One and only. Shout out to Kati. Shout out to Bram Radio. Thank you for the likes and subscription and the love and everything. Appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to download the app from the App Store. Yeah, the App Store and also Play Store. And yeah, just support, man. Appreciate that. Getting right into it, man. Today, man, Kingston, when we started the show, sometimes I feel like we didn't really even know what we're doing, bro. Like we had an idea and we're just going and going. And today is one of the days that sort of like remind us like why we do this. Just, the power of like music, also, I guess media, podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have a guest from the States coming today, all the way from Boston.
Yes, sir.
Very talented artist, inspired by the acts of Mark Miller, apparently. That's true, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. You're thinking of some old articles for sure. Yeah, y'all researching. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, facts. Really dope guy. I met him just a few minutes ago, and man, the energy is 100. He calls himself the Golden Child, right? The Golden
Boy.
The Golden Boy, yeah.
Has a track actually right now with about 3 million streams on Spotify. Go crazy, Chase Murphy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me, man. And likewise,
Yeah.
it's definitely some of the moments that remind me why I'm doing it too, you know what I mean?
I feel you, bro. Welcome to Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. First time.
Yeah. How you feeling, man? How you feeling so far?
I'm good, dude. I've been traveling quite a bit these last few months. To a couple countries I've been to before, but Netherlands, this is the first time I've ever been here. So new milestone, new ink in the passport. I'm hoping to get that ink when I leave.
Oh,
I'm not used in the States. Whenever you leave, you get the stamps.
Stamp,
you know?
yeah.
Traveling within Europe, they don't be stamping it. I'll be confused, but
And
yeah,
how-
I'm
how's
hyped
it?
to be here.
How's the weather for you so far?
I like it personally. I think this is tight. I was just telling y'all before, but as an American, we're so terrible at geography.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just me, and this is like not the era to be speaking about how dumb Americans are, but it's very apparent nowadays. You know what I mean? But I don't even know like where on a map I was this morning. So I was saying to Free, we walking. It's hella windy here. It's like Chicago. I was like, damn, we near an ocean.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, are you serious? And
Yeah.
and sure enough, we are by an ocean. But I thought it was nice, man.
It's cool. I think I also am terrible with geography, man.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Google Maps because if not, I'm
Busy.
fucked, bro. Like, listen, I work front desk at a hotel, right? So we get a lot of tourists. Everyone, is so happy to be in Amsterdam and stuff. And sometimes, and this from the older people I noticed, they ask you for a map. I mean, we do have a map, right? So
Yeah.
we give them the map. The annoying thing is they come to me and it's like, okay, so where are we? And I'm like, what? Like, you think I know what this is? I'm like, it just looks like drawings to me, but they want me to point. I'm like, how do you even know? Like, how do you look here and be like, okay, this is the exact street I am? How do you know that? Just use Google Maps. Like, it's
Yeah,
right
I
there,
feel
bro. But anyway, welcome to Amsterdam. You're here for music.
Absolutely.
Bro, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy, man. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking about that when I stepped out a moment ago. Like, I feel like I'm 27 years old, and I feel like the more I'm getting older,
Yeah.
the more I've like experienced and felt the pressure of time. It's really easy as a kid to set out on like a grandiose dream with something that's so, like so large. My dreams as a kid, you know what I mean? And when I'm starting to go for that, it's so exciting. And over time, it's like obviously I'm still chasing it.
Yeah.
But it's not always at the pace
No
or the
pun
time
intended.
when I'm expecting, you know what I mean?
Right?
Some milestones and the markers aren't getting hit when I thought at
Yeah.
23 or 21. And I'm thinking about that at 27. I'm like, damn, I feel like so much pressure of time nowadays when it comes to my carear.
Yeah.
So many like gurus online be telling you just like sit inside and make 100 TikToks, do the dance shit. It's like,
Yeah.
that's how your life's
Yeah.
going to change. And I'm thinking I haven't really been listening to that, the last however many years. And instead I've been traveling. I've been partnering with people like Loy Events to come out here to Amsterdam and do a show. And in Japan, I'm partnering with Space and renting them and doing a show in Japan
Yeah.
twice in the last 6 months. And
Yeah.
it's like, damn,
Crazy.
things like that is like, that's not the advice that they telling artists nowadays. They telling you to get on your phone and do the short form
TikTok,
content.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Go live.
instead I haven't made all those decisions, and instead I'm looking back at my 20s like, damn, I'm having the most fun of my life and doing things I never would have imagined. You know what I mean? And that is really crazy. And today is definitely one of those days for me too.
Yeah. It feels like it's crazy, like doing like your music is like hip hop and you're going all the way to Japan. I'm curious about the show. How was it?
It was dope, man. I'm super spoiled linguistically, like speaking English. That's like such a globalized language. And a lot of my overseas experience prior to the last year and a half was in Iceland, with Friel behind me, my producer and engineer. And everyone in Iceland speaks English. Like really rare to find someone that doesn't speak English. So I haven't felt that pressure of like having to be bilingual or know something, you know, to get around. In Japan, it's definitely a little bit more like that. Like I felt, I'm definitely like, I'm new here. You know what I mean? And so it's interesting, like when it comes to music, performing in front of crowds that aren't native English speakers, the bars and the punchlines don't really catch. You feel me? Like they don't really know what I'm saying. But I've noticed like I'm really benefiting from how melodic my music is. I've been a very melodic rapper, and I've had peers of mine be like, "Man, you don't need to say just rap that shit." I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't really need to just rap that shit because I'm going overseas now and having such melodic music. And again, fully as a rapper, but having notes that people can follow or something that gets stuck in people's heads. I'm performing in countries that they might not get the that ass got stretch marks. I'm trying to earn my stripes. They might not catch that, but by the end of the song, they know the hook. You know what I mean? And that's definitely been tight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When did you first feel like people were connecting to your music?
Kind of funny. I don't know if I've told the story before, but if I'm going, you know, before the first time a crowd sang the hook or before some other stories I have told, I think admittedly, I started out making music as just a way to vent. And a lot of it had darker themes and was not really where I would express my happiness or the stuff I didn't want to bring to school. You know what I mean? And something was happening in my life. It was like the anniversary of my mom's death, actually. My dad went to the hospital. I was feeling super just like the world is ending. I'm like 14, 15. I think I might have been younger, even like 13. And really spontaneously, I put a track out on SoundCloud that was kind of one of mine that I just keep to my chest. It was like kind of just well, if the world's ended today, then I guess I'm gonna just let it loose. I put it out on Facebook and it went like viral in my hometown overnight.
Wow.
And a lot of people reached out and people's parents like were in tears, hit me up about a song that I just like almost like manically shared at the time. But it just really encouraged me like, damn, like I could be myself, and that reached way further than whatever mask I've been portraying so far. And so since then I've had a lot of moments to connect where it's the first time people sing a hook back at a show or when a show goes from 10 people I begged to come to a sold out room. And there's, you know what I mean? Like those moments definitely are a little more memorable, I think, you know, on camera. But for me personally, I always reflect back on that moment. It's like a real pivotal change in who I was going to be publicly.
Let's take it back a little bit. Born in Boston, right?
Absolutely.
What's it like growing up there?
I personally loved it. I think the music there is so diverse that that has shaped me a lot in a beautiful way. I feel like so many other U.S. cities, especially abroad, like are known for a specific kind of genre, a specific kind of sound, look, etc. Especially within hip hop. But in Boston, it's such a melting pot of people and cultures that there's no real one sound. And although some people in the city always argue like, yo, that's what it takes to break on a national scale, I completely feel the opposite. And I feel like the different flavors and sonics in the city make the most unique kind of artists, in my opinion. And I'm not just speaking for myself, but a lot of my peers there are artists that I hold in very high regard. So, yeah.
So what drew you to hip hop? How'd you get the...
Man, I feel like that's an easy answer. I feel like it's the best genre possible. Even the way the interview started, I feel like the honesty in hip hop, although it's not always at the forefront of the mainstream, I feel like that's the thing that always drew me. Especially, you know, as I said, I got into this as a way to vent, as a way to express the darker side of myself. You know what I mean? And that was definitely the things I was drawn to lyrically growing up. But then also the positivity and the fun of hip hop is also so uplifting, even when you're down, you know what I mean? And especially when you're having a good time, to put on some bangers or something that you can sing along to. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it's the most like lyrically and just like linguistically in tune with the soul, you know what I mean? Where a lot of people argue about, you know, the sonics of instruments and other things like that, which I hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I hear how that hits me, but again, linguistically, like, I'm someone who really loves words, and I think hip hop is the best.
It's the best way, to be honest, I agree.
Bro, me and him, we talk about this all the time. Like, hip hop, because it's not, you know, the biggest genre, just in general, like, you know. But I feel like, because I also make rap music sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes it's hard to make rap music. You have to write raps, it's so hard. But like, sometimes I feel like there's certain things that I just feel like you can only say when you're rapping. Like, it's easy to sing and just do some nice hook or whatnot, but like, it's certain things like you can only just express when you rap. I feel like it's like the new Drake album, bro, Iceman. You listen to Iceman?
Yes, of course. I love it for that exact reason.
You love it?
I'll say my first listen,
I
didn't understand it. It wasn't what I was, as someone who's been a fan, through thick and thin, the more recent things, it's like, it's not what I needed, you feel me? I was like, yo, I was going to listen to this regardless, you feel me?
Right.
But again, understanding, just like reminding myself situationally, like the amount of things he would feel the need to address and get off his chest. I was like, damn. Like,
he did, right?
And, yeah. And some people say too much, but for me, I'm like, damn, nah, like, he'll give you all the other stuff you want next time. But this was the moment in time that this had to be addressed. Yeah. And I think he did it phenomenally, and I'm definitely inspired as a lyricist by that, for sure.
But yeah, cool.
I think it's a classic.
Me too. But did you guys listen to like the 3 albums?
The other 2 are not as much for me, but I think it's just so overshadowed by the pen of Iceman.
Iceman,
Right?
Like,
that's a point.
Yeah.
Nice, man. But you know,
he said nice man. Iceman was a nice man.
Iceman was a nice man.
Yeah.
Damn. Still, I still want to go back a little bit about Boston and whatnot. Do you remember when, you know, you first started getting into music? Because I always feel like it's one thing when you think about music, like, okay, maybe you write a song or you feel like you can sing or something like that. But it's another thing when you decide, like, I'm going to the studio to make a song. Like, I want to put a song and then put it out, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, what I'm asking is, did you remember, you know, when you felt like, you know, I want to go do this?
Like, for real?
Yeah, like, for real.
Yeah, I definitely always credit like my first live shows. Performing live is like the greatest high and dopamine rush to me. I really have like 3 of them. It's writing, and when you're in that mode and it's just like you tapped into it and it's flowing out, like, that's a high. Recording and hearing the product back is another high, where I'm like, holy shit, I created something and it's real. Like, I could show other people, it'll last forever. It's
Sounds
not, you know what I mean?
You know?
That's another high, and performing it is like the last step of the evolution of a song to me. Where like, that's the grand reveal of it.
Right.
But I feel like when I really, really felt like this is a career and understood what I was getting into was my first time going into a professional studio. I was recording myself at home, you know, be it on like my dad like had a Skype headset we'd use on our desktop computer. That's what I used, and it was a USB mic, and I graduated from there. But my first time at a real recording studio, my manager at the time, who was actually my high school football coach as well.
Wow.
I knew he was an alumni at my high school.
Yeah.
Like 10 years earlier. And I knew from like, just like the word around town, like he was a rapper, you know what I mean? So I'd always harass him like, yo, you gotta listen to my music. Shaft, you gotta listen to my music.
Yeah.
And one day he's like, all right, let me see what it's about. And he came back the next day. He's like, yo, it's not necessarily my genre, but you're for real. And I want to give you a shot.
Wow.
And so he signed me for a year and would take me to a professional recording studio where I met my first like real engineer, Robbie Rowland. And stepping up into a real studio, going from like my bedroom to now I'm in like a compound, you know, with high-end speakers. And the mixing board is straight from Linkin Park. Like Jay-Z's vocals have been through that.
Woo!
Like, yeah, I'm like 16, 17. Like Jay-Z's vocals have been through this board. So it was like, I always tell Robbie it was my first time like up to bat in the major leagues. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this was always my dream, but now I'm here. You know what I mean? And now I'm in Fenway, and that's what it felt like to me. And to make a record in that setting where the product was polished and mixed and mastered in a way that I could go back to school, and it's not like some bedroom shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit,
Personal,
Chase is like actually making music now.
yeah.
Like we can play this in a playlist, and
Right, it's a
and
real
it's
song,
sonically not
right.
losing anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that to me was like, holy shit! Like I can actually compete with the right tools, resources, and team around me. Like I can absolutely do this, and I've been chasing it with that same kind of mindset since.
Dope, man.
Yeah,
Play football.
I did play football. Yeah, he need research, man.
Yeah.
He need research for real. Yeah.
To be honest, and I'll be honest, man, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
This is the most I've done
Yeah.
since we started.
I'm glad
To go research
glad.
that, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, I've been thinking about this for months now. Like, I've been thinking about this day because I'm like, yo, this is the first time. You know, it's different when, you know, we talk with someone from here. We kind of know how it goes. But, you know, someone from like, somewhere else, we feel like we can't let him down. We have to like,
Research.
you know, we have to make it nice. We have to be on our A game.
I appreciate it, man.
Bro, sometimes, even today, you know, we still didn't, you know, we didn't make it on time. But if you know all we had to do before we go here, just trying to make sure we get everything right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the previous episodes, a lot of things go wrong, but we just pull through. People don't know because we pull through, you know, we also good at what we do.
Yeah.
But today, come on, man, we felt like, you know, we had to. And we also saw how you like, you know, saw the work you put in, man, how you brand yourself, the music. Lawyer?
Yeah.
Laura. So nice. You know, and you know, it was also inspiring, man. It made us see like, you know what, bro, like, you know, this shit is bigger than even you might think. So yeah, I appreciate that. Sorry for the long episode.
Nah, I appreciate the diligence
Sometimes
for
I'll be in
real.
my feelings.
Nah.
Okay, but you did play football.
Yeah. I guess when in Europe we gotta say American football, right?
Oh yeah.
Yo, American football.
Yeah. Especially with FIFA going on. People like, oh, word?
Yeah. What position did you play?
So that's hilarious you asked that. I actually have a song like coming out that's like kind of like the whole story of this part of my life. I played football for 9 years, and 5 of which were in Pop Warner. That's like the national kids league. It's like 13 and under, 14 and under.
Yeah.
And then the rest was high school. But I was a lineman, which is hilarious because those are the big boys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, I was chunky. I mean, I'm running in like trash bags to make weight, like around the track in the summer, like trying to lose weight. But I thinned out over time. By the time I got to high school, my high school was not as good as my previous team. My previous team were like nationals, like they were crazy. Mostly my teammates. I'm not gonna take a lot of credit, but and then I got to high school. I was much more thin and in shape, a little bit taller, but we did not have the big boys we needed. So I stayed on the line. My coach was like, yo, man, straight up, we just need you to keep doing this.
Bro.
So yeah, I was like 160 pounds against like 260-pound kids on the offensive line, which is pretty hilarious.
Would you say like just playing football? I never played football.
Yeah.
But I see it looks crazy. Like you're literally just running and hitting someone. Sometimes it feels like that's what the game is. I don't understand the rules also.
Yeah.
But all I see is this big ass dude just running straight through another guy, and I'm like, no. But would you say, is there anything like you take into you right now, like, you know, like just something you learn from training, I guess, or just
absolutely.
Is there anything?
First off, I'd say it's hella thrilling. You know what I mean? Like
sometimes I feel like I hear it in your music too. It has that championship vibe to it. You know what I mean?
100%. Like I also was like not kind of like the mouthpiece of my team, but I was like the loud one.
Yeah.
Like, we had a locker room, and I brought my big speakers from home, and for the whole season, like we got a sound system in our locker room. I'm usually on aux. I'm like standing up on the lockers, you know, rapping Tory Lanez records and turning everyone up before the games and shit like that. Previewing my own music.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot like, you know, I never served in no military, but it's like the closest thing to war you get as like a teenager. And I really feel like not just in the contact and in the aggressiveness of it, but in the team aspect, you're relying on everyone around you, not only to win, but like to watch your back, make sure you're not getting cracked and making sure you're good. And I think that's a big aspect of what I take with me now. I never played a glory position. Like I never had a ball. I never scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was a piece in this team that I was required to win. You know what I mean? And now that in the team that I'm on now, when it comes to music, I'm the guy on the mic. I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more synonymous with a guy with a ball.
Yeah.
Like I still know that I can't do this alone. Like,
yeah.
I need a team of not just other people, but veterans and people that are great at their position. You know what I mean? Like as I told you, me and Frio have been working 9 years, damn near. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
He's not just doing this because he just is on a team. He's doing this because he wants to be the best producer and engineer around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's like what I really take with it is I want to surround myself with the best team possible. And again, that's something I totally attribute to football for sure.
Cool. Facts, man. Damn, that's deep. Let's talk about being independent.
Yeah.
Very
I
nice.
feel like you try to portray that a lot.
Absolutely.
Why? What's the reason?
I feel like I take a lot of pride in it. And maybe that's like I don't want to say narcissistic at times, but it is like when you built it, like you probably gonna tell people. If you built your home, you know what I mean, and you own it and you have people over, that's probably a fact you would want to mention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something I'm really proud of. And that starts as far back as when I'm 15, 16 years old and the first Golden Boy shows are getting thrown in a basement.
Oh.
And I'm fronting the 500 for the sound equipment and the lights and, you know, buying the beers we're going to sell or, you know, I'm paying my other football lineman to man the door, you know, for 3 hours or so. And that's like a different aspect of the industry in my career that I take pride in. It's not like always, oh, I was the guy on stage and I made the music. Like that's a part I know takes sometimes even more work, you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm really adamant about letting people know that because a large portion of my following is also other artists and other dreamers, even if they're not looking to be a musician, but if they're looking to build a business in this, not reliant on a label or someone above that has the ability to say yes or no to your dream and your future.
Yeah.
You have to know that these steps are available and need to be taken for that to be an option. And it also gives me a huge respect for people like Laura. She's throwing this whole event out here. She's the reason I know y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she put in so much work and we got the brand everywhere we go, like for this entire weekend.
Shout out to Laura.
You know what I mean? But it's like that's the type of hustle that goes into an independent career, and that deserves to be platformed and mentioned because those are the steps you can't skip to succeed. You know what I mean?
That's the part they don't tell you.
Bro.
Nice, man.
So I see like you have like influence from Mac Miller as an artist. I wanted to ask like how much of an influence was Mac Miller to you?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked because that's I know you probably referenced in a very old WGBH interview I did in Boston where I mentioned that. And I think Mac, although definitely one of my big like influences in a foundational time for me, is not just the influence to me, but really all of Boston. And I confidently say that on behalf of the city.
Boston?
No, but I say that confidently because I've heard more and more people over time reference this in interviews and podcasts. But Boston hadn't really had a superstar until maybe 2015, 2016 with Cousin Stiz. And even Stiz wasn't quite at a Mac Miller hype level.
Yeah.
But Mac came to Boston and did a public free concert downtown.
Whoa.
When I was like 11 years old. And this is like at the height of his like kind of frat rap, like come up, you know what I mean? Like right before he was like big, national superstar. This is like the peak of the underground Mac Miller. And he did a free concert in Boston that brought out like, I'm not even kidding, like 10,000 plus people at our city hall. And we, as an artist at the time, I'm not like a real artist. I'm like 11 recording on a headset right now. But for me, seeing that was even possible, we didn't have any physical example outside of the internet that something like that could be done. And hearing, you know, other OGs in Boston, like G.O.D., an artist I work with, you know, who's a little bit older than me at the time, hear him reference that over time and Stiz reference that over time. I'm like, no, that really, not just me as a kid, but that impacted the whole city as like as a real life moment where the barrier between like fantasy and reality broke for the city. And so we've seen so many artists since chase that moment for themselves and for the town. Hosting festivals. Cousin Stiz just hosted a festival at the same city hall. I think last year was Smino, which was huge. I love that concert. That was a great concert. And yeah, I think everyone was really impacted by that. It was like, you know, kind of a nuclear moment in the town.
What is the Junkyard Jam tour?
Yeah, that one I love to talk about. That's one of my high horse moments on the independent shit. The Junkyard Jam originally was I had played a few shows in Boston. I finally got my start with the song No More, the one with the streams you mentioned earlier. So I had finally started to get like some motion where I'm selling out shows and have the ability to now book venues that I didn't before. Boston has industrially not had a very long history with hip hop in terms of support. The venues, you know, were pushing more rock and other stuff. Weren't really letting hip hop through the door the way they should have. And we're very behind on that. But I was in a privileged position where I was getting those opportunities, and I noticed a lot of my peers in the space weren't, which kind of frustrated me. And I was like, damn, it's like, it's always easy for people just to be like, yeah, work harder, or like, you know, that time will come. I was like, what can I do, like, to kind of show the scene, like, that you don't need a label, you don't even need a venue, like, if you want to do the things you want to do. And so I was working as a carpenter at the time, and I built a multi-level stage in my backyard and called it the Junkyard Jam, where it was like, I invested, I think over the course of 2 shows, paying other artists and lumber cost and buying a keg. I think I spent like $1,700 on 2 shows in my backyard. Like, that's my front. And on $10 tickets for just the second show. The first one was free. I made all the money back and broke even. I think I was even up $100.
For the second show.
Yeah. Really just off the second show. And we were selling like burgers and drinks at each one.
Cool.
But to me, it was like a huge thing as a business.
Yeah.
I'm like 20 years old. Like, oh shit. Like, without a venue, I just had a whole show with, over the course of both of them, like 500 plus people, and at least netted like $1,700. So I was like, holy shit. Like, you know, I was like, damn, that's a kind of revolutionary thing to happen at that age. That's a lot of money to me.
It is.
And so after COVID, during COVID, I had a little like college tour set up. They got canceled, obviously, with the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
But afterwards, like, my big dream was to go on tour, and I'd never done that. And I wasn't really at the size, now that TikTok had become such a thing in short form content. I was so behind on like getting on that wave. It wasn't really, it wasn't really like on the table for me. Like, I don't have a label offer. I don't have a booking agent. I don't have any of these things. And I was like, well, damn, what did I do in Boston? I live in LA now. Like, how am I going to make this happen? And so I started reaching out to friends across the country that had backyards or a warehouse space or, you know, whatever studio that had a lobby in it, you know what I mean? In New York or something like that. And I started sending out all these emails and texts and put together the Junkyard Jam tour, where I toured, I think it was 6 total cities, along with like 2 different college performances outside of that, you know, to make it like 8. So it's kind of like funded the flights to each city. But I did these DIY shows across the country.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of them went green, some of them went red. But, you know what I mean? Of course. But that was like one of my proudest moments as both an artist, but as like, again, the business behind it, where I was like, damn, I literally just toured the country for 2 months with like a, you know, pretty net zero thing. No cost of, no overhead of rent, you know what I mean? Because I moved out of my crib before that. And that was like a huge game changer for me, and definitely the inspiration of stuff I'm doing now, where I'm going overseas and partnering with different people to bring me places or just be on the road. And again, where I look back at my 20s now, I'm like, damn, you know, I'm not viral, but I'm global. You know what I mean?
Moves,
and that's low key when it comes to my day-to-day life. I'm choosing that every time, and I prefer that. So yeah.
It's fire, bro. It is everything you think it is, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to go on a break right now, but guys, keep it locked. To be right back.
Absolutely.
Chase more feet. Peace.
Right.
Broadcast Amsterdam.